K-pop in 2026 is stronger than ever on the global stage, with massive world tours, record-breaking streams, and the highly anticipated comebacks of legendary groups like BTS and Blackpink, bringing renewed excitement to the industry. At the same time, newer generation groups such as Stray Kids, IVE, aespa, and NewJeans continue to dominate charts and social media, proving that K-pop's future is just as powerful as its past. However, behind the scenes, the industry faces challenges like market saturation and rising production costs in South Korea, making competition tougher for smaller and newer groups. Still, K-pop remains one of the most influential forces in global pop culture, blending strong fandoms, digital innovation, and non-stop creativity that keeps fans worldwide hooked. 5 years ago, K-pop was in the middle of its global breakout, led mainly by BTS, Blackpink, EXO, and Twice, with international success still feeling like a huge milestone rather than the norm. Streaming platforms and social media were growing fast, but global tours were more limited, and Western chart dominance by K-pop acts was still rare. Today, K-pop is fully mainstream worldwide, with sold-out stadium tours, massive brand partnerships, and multiple generations of groups, from Stray Kids and aespa to NewJeans and IVE, competing globally alongside veterans making major comebacks. While the industry now faces challenges like saturation and tougher competition, K-pop has evolved into a global pop powerhouse rather than just a rising trend. K-pop and the Western music industry operate very differently, even though both dominate global charts today. K-pop is built on a highly structured system of training, concept-driven releases, synchronized performances, and strong fandom culture, where visuals, storytelling, and group identity play just as big a role as the music itself. In contrast, Western music focuses more on individual artists, personal branding, and creative freedom, with less emphasis on choreography or group concepts. While Western artists usually grow organically over time, K-pop idols are carefully developed from trainees into polished performers before debut. Despite these differences, both industries now influence each other heavily, blending sounds, fashion, and collaborations, making global pop culture more connected than ever. K-pop fans today are more global, organized, and influential than ever before, playing a huge role in streaming success, chart rankings, and even brand partnerships. Fandoms now operate like digital communities, coordinating voting projects, album purchases, charity drives, and social media trends across different countries and time zones. While fan culture remains passionate and supportive, it has also become more competitive and intense, with streaming wars and online fan conflicts becoming more common. Still, K-pop fans continue to shape the industry's growth, proving that fandom power is one of the strongest forces behind K-pop's worldwide dominance. K-pop is not in decline, but it is changing. Globally, K-pop is stronger than ever, with massive world tours, high streaming numbers, and major comebacks from top groups bringing renewed attention. However, the industry is facing saturation, meaning more groups are debuting while competition is tougher, and not every act reaches mainstream success like before. Some fans also feel burnout due to constant content and fan wars, which can make the scene feel less exciting than in past years. Overall, K-pop isn't dying. It's evolving into a more competitive, mature global industry, rather than a fast-rising trend. K-pop became so successful because it combined high-quality music production, intense idol training, powerful visuals, and strong fan engagement into one global-ready package. Entertainment companies invested heavily in grooming performers who could sing, dance, act, and connect with fans, while also creating unique concepts and storytelling for each group. The rise of YouTube, social media, and streaming platforms helped K-pop spread worldwide faster than traditional music industries, allowing international fans easy access to music videos, performances, and fan content. Strong fandom culture, interactive marketing, and global collaborations further pushed K-pop beyond Asia, turning it into one of the most influential pop movements in the world today. Yes, AI is already affecting the K-pop industry in major ways. Entertainment companies use AI for music production, choreography planning, vocal processing, fan engagement, and even virtual idols and digital avatars. AI helps analyze fan trends, predict hit songs, and personalize content, making promotions more targeted and efficient. However, it also raises concerns about creativity, authenticity, deepfakes, and job displacement in songwriting and performance. Overall, AI isn't replacing K-pop. It's reshaping how music is created, marketed, and experienced. The future of K-pop looks global, tech-driven, and more diverse than ever. K-pop will continue expanding worldwide through international tours, multilingual releases, and collaborations with Western and global artists. AI, virtual idols, and immersive experiences like VR concerts will play bigger roles in how fans interact with idols. At the same time, newer generations of groups will bring fresh sounds and concepts, while veteran artists maintain long-term careers beyond traditional idol timelines. Although competition and saturation will grow, K-pop is expected to remain one of the most influential forces in global pop culture. Yes, while Korea's K-pop system is unique, several countries are emerging as potential global pop powerhouses in the future. Japan, J-pop, already has a massive domestic industry and is becoming more international through anime, global tours, and multilingual acts. Thailand is gaining strong attention with idols and actors crossing into global markets, especially through K-pop trained artists. Latin America, particularly Mexico and Brazil, has huge global reach through reggaeton and pop, showing how regional music can dominate worldwide. India also has massive potential due to its population, digital reach, and growing idol-style pop groups. While none may replicate K-pop exactly, these regions could build their own global music movements with similar impact. K-pop's success isn't just because it's Western-influenced or more conservative. It's really a combination of both, plus strong industry structure. First, K-pop blends Western pop, hip-hop, R&B, and EDM sounds with Korean culture, making the music feel familiar to global listeners while still unique. This makes it easier for international audiences to connect compared to J-pop, which often prioritizes domestic tastes and keeps much content region-locked. Second, K-pop idols are trained to maintain a clean, polished public image, which helps brands, families, and younger fans feel comfortable supporting them. Fewer scandals, controlled media behavior, and careful language use make idols more marketable globally, especially for endorsements and international promotions. But the biggest factor is the idol system itself. Years of training, performance perfection, strong visuals, storytelling concepts, fan interaction, and aggressive global marketing through social media and YouTube. So while Western influence and image control help, K-pop's real strength lies in its highly organized, export-focused entertainment model that few other countries have replicated at the same scale. Here's a clear answer to whether K-pop's global sales were bigger before the pandemic compared to today. K-pop grew tremendously during and right after the pandemic, reaching record levels, and then saw some decline afterward, meaning it was especially strong pre- and post-pandemic. But today's sales figures are mixed rather than strictly higher or lower. Before and during the pandemic, like around 2019 to 2021, K-pop was rapidly expanding globally. BTS, Blackpink, and other groups broke international records. Album sales jumped year after year, and global revenue increased significantly. For example, K-pop saw major album sales growth in 2020 during the pandemic, when fans couldn't attend concerts, helping push physical sales upward. Peak around 2023, album sales hit a historic high in 2023, when combined domestic and global physical sales passed 100 million units, driven by huge releases and active comebacks from big acts. After the peak, 2024 to 2025. Since then, physical album sales declined in 2024 and 2025, with totals dropping below the 2023 peak, partly due to major groups being less active and changing fan consumption, more streaming and concerts rather than buying albums. However, global exports still hit a record over $300 million by 2025, showing international demand remains strong even as overall sheet figures fall. In short, pre-pandemic to 2023, strong, consistent growth in sales and global reach. 2023, peak sales year for physical albums. 2024 to 2025, sales have dipped compared to the peak, but global popularity and demand, especially for streaming, tours, and exports, remain high. So K-pop isn't declining overall, but the peak sales era around 2022 to 2023 has eased, and the industry today is balancing between album sales, digital streaming, and massive live performances. Short answer: no, it's not officially true, but it's complicated. K-pop artists are not legally banned from dating, and many agencies today no longer enforce strict no dating rules, especially for senior idols. However, in the past, and sometimes still for rookies, companies discouraged dating because idols were marketed as emotionally available to fans, and scandals could hurt group popularity or endorsements. Today, attitudes are changing. Many idols openly date or confirm relationships, and fans are becoming more accepting, though backlash can still happen in some cases. So while dating isn't forbidden, it's often managed carefully, especially early in an idol's career. The modern K-pop training system was pioneered by Lee Soo-man, the founder of SM Entertainment in the early 1990s. He introduced the structured trainee model inspired by Japanese idol systems and Western pop production, creating long-term training in singing, dancing, language skills, and public image before debut. This system became the foundation that other major agencies like YG, JYP, and Hybe later adopted, shaping the global K-pop industry we know today. Here are the top 5 biggest K-pop artists of all time based on total album sales, which is one of the clearest measures of commercial impact in the music industry. 1. BTS, far and away the #1 best-selling K-pop artist, with over 55 million albums sold globally since debut. 2. 17, a massive seller with 41+ million albums sold, boosted by huge global popularity. 3. Stray Kids, one of the fastest-growing acts, with 26+ million albums sold. 4. EXO, a major third-gen powerhouse with 24+ million albums sold. 5. TWICE, the top-selling female group with nearly 19 million albums sold. Notes: these figures represent physical and official album sales over their careers. Some other artists like NCT Dream, NCT 127, TXT, and Blackpink also have very high sales, but fall just outside the top 5 on most all-time cumulative lists. Perfect! Let's break it down into 3 categories so you get a full picture of which K-pop groups are dominating globally. Top 5 K-pop groups streaming number: Spotify, YouTube. Based on total streams, views, and consistent digital performance. 1. BTS. Massive global streams. Almost all songs hit 100 million+ streams on Spotify and YouTube. 2. Blackpink. Huge YouTube presence. Record-breaking music video views in 24 hours. 3. TWICE. Popular across Asia, solid Spotify numbers worldwide. 4. Stray Kids. Rapid growth globally, big streaming boosts post-album releases. 5. 17. Consistent streams, especially in Western markets recently. Top 5 K-pop groups by global chart performance: Billboard, iTunes, Oricon. These groups frequently top international charts. 1. BTS. Multiple #1s on Billboard Hot 100 and Billboard 200. 2. Blackpink. First girl group with major Hot 100 impact and global iTunes dominance. 3. TWICE. Regularly charts on Billboard World Albums and Japan Oricon. 4. Stray Kids, emerging on Hot 100 and World Albums charts. 5. NCT, including subunits NCT 127, NCT Dream, high international charting, especially in the US. Top 5 K-pop groups by concert tour revenue. Revenue is a good indicator of fan base engagement and global demand. 1. BTS, record-breaking stadium tours in the US, Europe, and Asia. 2. Blackpink, sold-out arenas globally. Luxury brand partnerships boost revenue. 3. 17, strong Asia and North America tours, huge merch sales. 4. EXO, legendary touring record in Asia, strong fandom support. 5. NCT 127, rapidly expanding global tours, high attendance in North America. If you want